Hello, friend, and welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. I'm Janet Cagle, certified life coach, business strategist, and lover of all things related to up-leveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you experience a mind shift that gets you one step closer to your goals, whatever they are. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Hey friends, and welcome back to the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. We are just going to jump right in for this 10-minute mind shift. This is episode 15, The Tragedy of Self-Doubt. We need to look for the little nooks and crannies in which self-doubt resides and blow it out of existence, and here is why. Self-doubt has you ruminating in indecision and confusion. You doubt that you can make the right decision. It has you quitting ahead of time because you doubt your ability to create the outcome. It has you showing up small and not taking advantage of opportunities and not even getting into the arena. It has you so afraid of failure that you forget that you must be willing to fail in order to succeed. It has you stuck in a job that you hate and under-earning because you don't think that you have the ability to offer more value. It has you stuck in a crappy marriage for fear of being alone, being on your own, or being the one to make the first move to save the marriage. It has you stuck in pride for fear of being vulnerable. It has you tolerating and unavailable for self-care and self-love. It has you sitting in the impossibility, so you are reluctant to even dream, let alone set a goal that's worth working for. It has you stuck in friendships that do not nurture you or enrich you for fear of leaving the old Tuesday night Taco Fest crowd behind. It has you sitting in resentment of people pleasing because of your own fear of saying no. It has you loathing your body versus demanding self-care and self-love of nourishing your body. It has you buffering and mindlessness. Self-doubt is debilitating and tragic. Today, I'm going to give you 6 steps to blowing your own mind and obliterating the indulgent emotion of self-doubt. Humans have more than 50,000 thoughts a day. Not all of them are affecting us. Most of them are helping us get through our day on autopilot. Here's how we get through most of the day. We are able to wake up, make the coffee, brush the teeth without a single conscious thought of any of it. And then there are those thoughts running in the background, the subconscious thoughts that we think that wreak havoc on our daily lives and our goals and our hopes and our dreams, and we don't even realize it. The mind shift that I want to give you today is in terms of creating the exact outcome that you want by managing your thoughts and deciding the exact emotion that will fuel your actions so you can create the outcome of your heart's desire. I want to shift you into the gear of causing the effect in your life instead of living at the cause and the effect of your life. I have always read self-help books, and I've spent years trying to apply their teaching to my life. Sometimes it worked, but often it didn't, and here is why. Even though I thought I was giving it a good try, everything I was doing had to do with the action I was taking. I didn't understand the power of thoughts and emotions that were the fuel for my actions. And here's the biggie. I was doing it all from a place of not believing that I had the ability to affect the outcome and the change in my life. Like an app running in the back of my mind, I always had the thought, this stuff works for other people, but not for me. In the back of my mind, I was playing the reel of self-doubt and for sure self-pity. I would feel so sorry for myself when I couldn't create the outcome I was looking for. And then I would throw my hands and tell myself, see, I was right after all. Who are you to think that your life could be different by managing your thoughts? That kind of thing is for the self-help guru who wrote the book, but it's not for people like you, girl. The piece that was missing was believing in my ability that I could create the outcome of my heart's desire. Without the belief, I wasn't creating the fuel that I needed in order to take productive, creative, thoughtful action. I was being fueled by self-doubt and self-pity, 2 very easily accessible, indulgent emotions that I talk about in episode 10. They are easy to access, but they are useless. For years, maybe for as long as I can even remember having my first thought, I lived with all kinds of food chatter. Even as a kid, I had constant thoughts of food. Then as I matured, it turned to body image chatter. I felt like 90% of my time, I was either thinking about food or cellulite. I would compare how I looked to the people who weren't even real. The very magazines that I bought to help me get rid of that cellulite had pictures of women who had had their cellulite airbrushed out. What? I wondered if other people moved through their life without thinking about food and cellulite. I admired people who seemed to do just that. I had no idea that they probably had the very same chatter. I worked on it. I really did. But as long as I had the goal of having a better relationship with food, but I was full of self-pity and self-doubt, I was destined to carry that chatterbox in my head every day of my life. Here's a recent story of how self-doubt almost cost me my dream of earning my bronze medal in dressage. When I bought my horse Dutch, I knew that he had zero travel experience, and although I got him in the trailer to come home, it was clear he was not trailer trained. He was a fire-breathing dragon during the entire trip home, and the next time I asked him to load, it was full of drama. He literally flipped himself backwards and then wouldn't even go near the trailer. He's 17 hands tall, which is quite large, but when he caught on that we were walking towards the trailer, he would blow himself up even bigger. He would start shaking and then flip. It was awful. I have trained several horses to trailer train, so I thought that I had the confidence to trailer train Dutch. I started from scratch. I did all the things that I had done before, and still no result. Several weeks later, I was really getting disappointed and frustrated. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have this goal of earning my bronze medal in dressage, and I felt like it was just slipping away. One of my barn friends mentioned that she knew of someone that offered trailer training, and her ad said she could get the job done in an hour, guaranteed. I was all over that. If I couldn't do it, I would outsource it. She came the following Sunday, and 3 hours later, she gave up. Then she said she had a surefire way of getting him in the trailer. You know, in the event that I got stuck somewhere and he refused. And I'm like, aren't we there already? Isn't that exactly where we're at? What's the secret? So I'm like, heck yeah, I need to know. An hour later, she said, I don't know what you're going to do. Of course, I had to ask the question just to seal the evidence in my brain. Have you ever had a horse not trailer for you? She said, I have now. I mean, people, are you feeling my pain? I went home and cried. I'm not even kidding. I'm sure the medals aren't coming to us, and it sure doesn't seem like we're going to go get them either. My dreams felt like they were dashed. The next day, as I'm doing my thought downloads, not even really thinking about anything in particular, these thoughts just flowed out of my head. The beauty of doing the thought download is you don't even know half the stuff that you're thinking. Here were the thoughts and how each one of them made me feel. He's never going to do this. This feels impossible. This is really messing up my goals. I felt inconvenienced. The medals aren't coming to us. We have to go get them. That made me feel graspy. I've lost my trailer training mojo. Self-doubt. This is taking too long. Entitled. It shouldn't be this hard. Frustrated. He's just being difficult. Discouraged. I'm not equipped to train a warm blood after all. I should have known better. Imposter. Maybe I never knew what I was doing to begin with. I must have gotten lucky. Fraudster. Now, as a reminder, thoughts create feelings and feelings fuel action. I was being fueled by frustration, needy and graspy energy, desperate, entitled, and inconvenienced energy. So you can imagine how inspiring, thoughtful, creative, and productive my actions were. I was being fueled by all of the wrong emotions that I needed in order to ask a 1,500-pound animal to jump into a box. So think about that thing that you're trying to create. Maybe it's a happy, healthy marriage, a promotion at work, a calm and peaceful household, a number on the scale or in your bank account. Now, think about the thoughts and feelings that are fueling your action. What kind of action are you taking? Is it desperate action, frantic action, panicky action, or inspired, thoughtful, massive action? We have to stop and evaluate our thought models when we aren't creating the results we want. So here is what happened next. I decided how I wanted to feel in order to inspire Dutch to respond to my request. I wanted to believe that this could be done and I could do it. I wanted to get out of the panic, needy, graspy energy, so I went to work creating new thoughts, the thoughts that would support the outcome that I was trying to create. How did I do that? I just relaxed into them. I just allowed them. And I decided how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to experience this relationship with my horse, this journey to the bronze medal. I chose these emotions: patience, compassion, calm, encouraged, proud, honored, accomplished, understanding, and prepared. Now, knowing how I wanted to experience Dutch in the journey, here are a few of the thoughts that I came up with. This will happen right on time. We have all year if that's what it takes. I am capable of training Dutch. Dutch is capable of learning. Dutch is just being a horse and doing what horses do. Nothing has gone wrong. I've always known how to do this. This is not as hard as I am making it. I am totally equipped to handle this lesson. I spent a few days thinking and practicing these thoughts on purpose until they became very easy for me to think. And after a few days, I could feel a shift in my belief level. I started to believe my new thoughts. The following weekend, I decided to practice loading, and I practiced my new thoughts. This will happen right on time. I am capable, and Dutch is capable, and I have all year. And before I even pointed to the trailer, he walked right on. You know that I was not even believing my eyes, but there it was. The only thing that had changed in a week was my thoughts and my feelings. What changed was how I showed up. Instead of being needy and graspy, I was patient and confident. Instead of feeling entitled to success, I was giving him time and room to evolve. Instead of feeling inconvenienced, I was embracing the opportunity to learn. When you are fueled by something other than self-doubt, there isn't anything that you can't create, invite, or attract into your life. It's the self-doubt that is repelling money that you want to make, the marriage that you want to have, the number on the scale. All the things that you want are being blocked by self-doubt. It gets even better, people. One of the boarders mentioned that she'd like to be able to show her horse, but he had been in a trailer accident and they would need to drug him to load him, and then he wouldn't be able to be shown. I put her through these steps, and guess what? Yep, he loaded right up. So here is exactly the steps that you need to follow in order to eradicate your self-doubt and create the outcome of your heart's desire. Number 1, decide what you want. What is the outcome that you want to create? Number 2, decide how you want to experience this journey. How do you want to show up? Make a list of how you want to feel. Number 3, relax into and allow the thoughts to surface that will create those emotions. Number 4, practice thinking on them every day. Practice being the person who has created the result. Number 5, be willing to be uncomfortable and fail over and over and over again until you create the result. Number 6, go create the result. All right, my friends, I hope that there's been a mind shift in there somewhere for you. And hey, if you love this podcast, leave me all the love in a review and you could earn $100. See the show notes for the full details. And now, go have the best weekend ever. That's a wrap of the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. I hope that you were able to experience your own transformation this week. If you love this podcast, I would love it if you would leave me a review, and here is what's in it for you. When you listen and subscribe and screenshot your review, email it to me, you are entered to win $100. As soon as we get to 100 reviews, I will be drawing for the winner. Now, you can only leave one review, but you can enter multiple times. I'm going to leave the details in the show notes. All right, my friends, I hope that you have the best week ever.